How do you create a career after a career? So how do I create a life after boxing? Now, I started boxing when I was 8 years of age. I had my first contest when I was 11. I had an amateur career, over 100 fights, so all around the world. I turned professional at 21. Then I retired from boxing when I was 31. So I boxed for 23 years, and that was one career, but I was still a young man at 31. So how do you invent and create a career after a career? Now, I work with guys who are coming out of the city, coming out of the services, and it's a difficult time for us. Now, I really struggled with that transition from being a professional athlete to life out there in the so-called real world. Now, I really struggled. Now, boxing for me was a lot easier than being out here in the real world, trying to make our way again. I found, because I was conditioned and programmed to fight. Now, my condition is to fight, defend, attack, resist and confront. Now that works really well in the boxing arena, but doesn't really work very well everywhere else. So I had to redefine who I am and recreate myself. And then the career after career, I pursued so many different things. I was going to be a film star. If you ever need evidence that there's a worse actor out there than Vinnie Jones, go and rent. It ain't worth buying the Mean Machine to see my performance. I did a few films, I pursued that. But that wasn't my career after my career. I had to go out modelling. Now, would you believe it? I know it's hard to believe, but I was with a modelling agency called Uglies. Now, they cater for people with unusual looking faces, right? And I've been bashed up a few times. I pursued that. I used to model balaclavas. But that wasn't it. So I pursued that. What else did I do? I was going to be a boat skipper. I had these visions of driving these big yachts around the south of France and the Bahamas. I pursued that. I was on the Norfolk Broads on a little boat, parking them up. Then I was out of the North Sea, and I was in this big rusty old boat, and it was raining, and it was up and down. I was throwing up over the side. I thought, this is obviously not my career after my career. I was going to get a job in the city. I pursued that. I read all the books. I found a guy to go and work with. But that wasn't it either. I pursued so many different things to find a career after my career. So how do you do that? I'm reading a book at the moment called The 100-Year Life by Linda Grayton and Andrew Scott, which is a beautiful book. They talk about, and I talk with my guys, I say, listen, if you were going to live to 100, what would you do differently? Just think about that. If you were going to live till 100, what would you do differently right now with your life? Because they talk about we might have 2 or 3 different careers in our life. So I've had one, and now I'm on a second one, although I pursued lots of other careers in the meantime to get to this one. And it'll probably change again. So I'm a lot more patient now about the future that I'm creating, and I'm happy and fulfilled and satisfied making progress with the one that I'm in. But I know the transition for lots of us is a very difficult one. But we have to kind of get out of our own way. We have to break the habit of being ourselves, because we're so fixed and we get so stuck thinking who we are, who our past is who we are in the future. But it's not, trust me. Now, but I struggled. So the first 2 years of my retirement, the worst 2 years of my life, I really struggled. Depression, divorce, bankruptcy. I had no future, which had me feel depressed. So I couldn't see life outside of the boxing ring. So I really struggled with that transition. But be in pursuit of it. Go after many things. Go and do whatever you got to do to find out what it is to get awakened to your life purpose. Now, I found mine, but it took a lot of hours, a lot of years of work, studying, looking at who I am and what is my future. Now, the future that I'm living into now is just I want to make a difference, because that's the biggest game in town for me. That's what really fulfills me. So I found a way how I can monetize it and how I can do it daily so that everyone gets to win, and it has me feel good. So I've now got the transition, but it's not been an overnight thing for me. It's taken years of trial and error, years of failing, years of pursuing things which are not really it. And I've made lots of mistakes along the way, but it's okay. It's okay to fail, try things out and be patient. And just give yourself a break and give yourself a second chance, because the thing that you're pursuing in your second career may not be the thing that you're really going to do for the rest of your life. But what is the rest of your life? If you're going to live to 100, I'm going to live to 130, by the way. So I don't know how many careers I'm going to have, But this is the one I'm on now, and I'm happy with it. So that's the one I'm going to focus on. But I know if you're going through a transitional time, it can be so challenging. But I would reach out, as I did, get help, get some support from somewhere, have a conversation with somebody, because I know what it feels like. Not everyone can understand what you're going through. It's frightening. I was frightened. I went for a real tough time. But hold faith with yourself, because you will get there. And just keep pursuing your purpose, and it's okay to fail. Just be patient, because there is a career waiting for you after the career that you're having or you're going to have. Who knows what the future is? It's exciting. Haters, trolls, all those negative people, how do we deal with them? Don't take it personally, because it's not personal. I mean, you know in your heart of hearts, whatever you're communicating, listen, it's all on social media, right? Social media can be brutal. It can be beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and it can be harsh. So those people who go on and troll and who are the haters, so be mindful of what you're putting out there. Now, if you know in your heart of hearts you're putting good stuff out there, then you're okay. You've got nothing to worry about. So don't take those comments or whatever's coming in personal, because have a bit of compassion if you can. Take a moment, take a breather. If a message comes in and it triggers you, take a moment. Don't respond, because 98% of our knee-jerk reactions, they ain't good. So don't go there. If you can refrain from just responding and reacting in that moment, just take a moment, take a walk, go and have a cup of coffee, go and sit down, then come back and reassess it. But also, that may not be long enough. For me, sometimes if I get triggered, it takes a bit longer. It might take a few hours. Just leave it. You don't have to respond straight away. Just and also be compassionate about whoever said what they've said. Try and bring a bit of compassion if that's possible, if that's who you are. Find a bit of compassion within yourself, because we don't know what people are dealing with. Try and be a bit kind, because everybody is dealing with something in their lives. So we don't know what place they're coming from, where they're at, what they're doing with their lives. But don't take it personally. Just have a look and see if there's any value in it. Try and turn it into a positive. And whatever's been said, just look at the value that can be taken from it, and then comment back with some value. Because every comment, every criticism, there may be something of value in it. So don't take it personally. Don't get too upset. Take a breather, take a moment, take a breath, have some compassion. And that's the way to really deal with those people who are negative out there in the world. That's the way that I deal with it. Just with an open heart, love them. Passion, passion. Where does your passion come from? Now, I'm really, really clear about what I don't want in my life. Now, I've made so many mistakes. I'm really clear. So have you made enough mistakes yet? Where does your passion come from? What are you passionate about? The reason why I'm passionate about what I do is because my life is a designed, and I've created it such that it allows for passion to arise in me. Now, I'm passionate about the future that I'm creating. I'm passionate about the people that I have in my life, because I've chosen them to be in my life. And what drives me, the passion that I have, is my life experiences, because I've had extreme highs and I've had extreme lows. So I know the difference, and I know where I like to be. I like to be in the middle, and I like to be cool, calm and collected, because that gives me satisfaction and a peace of mind. And that allows me to be fulfilled. So my passion is about others. I found my passion is about inspiring and empowering people to live a life they love with passion, power and purpose. So that is what I do. So that's what I work with my guys, my individual coaching sessions. It's all about connecting with what that is. And then I work with groups of people, teams of people. It's about connecting with their passion, their purpose and their power, their inner power. So if you're connected with all those things, passion, power, and you're on purpose, it gets you out of bed in the morning. Now, we talked about motivation and inspiration. If you're passionate about your life, you're going to be inspired every day and move towards what it is that you're looking to achieve. Now, it's not always that way. It's not always easy. But where does your passion come from? Dig deep, have a look. And that's where my passion comes from, because I've connected to my life purpose. So that's to inspire and empower people to live a life they love with passion, power and purpose. Have you got it? Dig deep, it's in there. Choosing a mentor or a coach, what to consider. Now, I go back to my own personal experience of a guy I called Gentleman Jack. Now, Gentleman Jack was my boxing trainer. He was the man who steered me all the way to becoming a world champion. And he just passed away only this last week. So bless him, Gentleman Jack. Now, Gentleman Jack, he liked opera, he painted and drawed, he was softly spoken, he could hold a conversation on any subject. He was just an absolute beautiful man, an absolute gentleman. But that being aside, he was an expert in what it took to become a world champion. So he took a young kid who was hungry and turned him into a world-class boxer. So when you're choosing your mentor, your coach, have a look at their past. What have they done? Have they fulfilled what you're looking to attain? Are they an expert on it? And also, I had a fitness coach, another guy he was just another gentleman, Andy Young. So he was my fitness coach, and he again was an expert in his field, and he took care of my nutrition, my fitness. So find yourself an expert in whatever aspect of your business or whatever aspect of your life. Do you need a life coach? Do you need a business coach? Do you need a nutritionist? Do you need a diet coach? There's coaches out there for everything, but just consider who they are and what they've done in the past. And are they going to take you to the place that you want to get to? Now, whatever that is, it's available and it's possible. But also something you got to consider is, do you get on with them? Now, I got on with those guys. They're like family. So my boxing trainer, Jack, it was like a marriage. We had a marriage. We spent so much time together. We engaged every day. It was like a marriage. So you need to get on with your coach. There's a couple of things to consider is, do you get on with them? You need to look at that. Is that going to be a bond? Because you're going to spend a lot of time with them and you're going to be in each other's worlds. That's something to consider. And are they an expert in the field of what you're looking to attain? Because that's so important. Have they done what you're looking to do? Are they going to guide you successfully to get to where you want to go to? So that's something to consider about picking a mentor and a coach. Why do some people win more often than others? What a great conversation. What is that about? I love this conversation because it fascinates me. And one I've been engaging in for many, many years. So what was it that had me become a world champion? What is that? So successful people, and why the winners, we're hungry, we're driven. And one of the things I really want to talk about is integrity. We have a certain level of integrity with ourselves and with others. So for me to become a world-class fighter, it was a certain amount of integrity and inner integrity. So the way that I look at integrity is doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. That's it. It's not moral. There's no right or wrong. It's just delivering on what you say you're going to do. Now, here's the thing about integrity, because we can't always deliver on what we say we're going to do. It's just not possible. Now, if you're up to big things in your life, you're creating these big things, and you're not going to fulfill them all the time. So the thing about that is about being in communication. Now, if you commit to something and you can't fulfill on it, get in communication, because that really makes a difference. Because you know what it's like when people go out of communication, or you can't get hold of people, you're trying to get, it's annoying and it's just frustrating. So successful people, I believe, have a certain level of integrity. So for me, if you could imagine the integrity that I had to have when I was training for world championship fights, is beyond. I had to do everything that I was told and I commit to everything that I said I was going to do. Because otherwise, the way that I looked at it was, I'll go into the ring and I'll get killed, because it was life or death. Boxing for me was kill or be killed. It was life or death. And if I was out of integrity in preparation for each fight, then the way that I looked at it, I could go and get killed. Now, I had a friend of mine killed in the ring, and I know guys that have been brain damaged, permanently damaged. It's a brutal, beautiful business, professional boxing. So there were high stakes. But we go through life and the stakes, maybe we don't look at them being high enough. But you should value yourself, value your own integrity to play at high stakes. So in life, live your life with integrity and just deliver on what you say you're going to do. And if you can't deliver, just get in communication, and then if you're going to recommit to another time that you're going to do what you said you're going to do, and just go like that. Because that's the reason why I think a lot of people are more successful than others. It's a matter of integrity.